everyone! I'm Chandler O'Shea, and to all my new subscribers and anyone else who's just so happened to stumble upon this video, welcome to Theme Park Backlot, the show where I review theme parks, theme park related media, and sometimes other things on location from those parks themselves. Stumbling onto this YouTube channel and you scroll through the recent videos, you'll notice that I've had a lot of success, both very recently and in the more distant past, talking about and making compilation videos of various Disney television animation shows. And this is the first entry in this series of videos shot on location at the Disney parks in, God, over 3 years? Which is why I felt like a reintroduction was in order.
Don't worry, you're fine.
Thanks, Dave. Anyways, let's talk about fictional theme parks, specifically animated ones. It's not really a surprise that theme parks tend to show up a lot in animation. After all, they're colorful and vibrant, they can be packed with visual gags, you can give them weird themes, and they tend to lend themselves to a lot of wild scenarios. Plus, you can just make up whatever ridiculous ride you want.
Golly, the stairway to heaven! Check this out, the bullet train to heck!
So many shows have put their anxiety-ridden characters through ridiculous, larger-than-life roller coaster rides.
Kudos, Melissa! The fact that you're willing to face your fear is a tribute to your character. You are the embodiment of strength, of will, and an inspiration to everyone. Your intestinal fortitude is truly impressive.
Milo's right. We're both proud of you, Melissa.
You're like the Joan of Arc of theme parks.
Wasn't Joan of Arc burned at the stake?
She was.
She wasn't afraid of roller coasters, though.
She was not.
This ride may cause crying, screaming, projectile vomiting, amnesia, spine loss, embarrassing accidents, uncontrollable gas, and explosive diarrhea. Is that all?
Big deal. I did half that stuff this morning.
Oh, look, the top of a plane. Here we go.
Even theme park rides based on animated properties frequently feature fictional parks within their actual park. And of course, just as Walt Disney World was kicking off their 50th anniversary celebration, a new musical animated comedy premiered on Disney Channel that very quickly became my favorite show. That of course being the Ghost and Molly McGee. In case you're unfamiliar, the show was created by animation writing veterans Bill Motz and Bob Roth, and is about a grouchy ghost named Scratch who accidentally curses himself to be permanently stuck to an exuberant and optimistic 13-year-old girl named Molly McGee. And literally one of the first things they did when the show came out was make a chibi Tiny Tales short in which Molly and Scratch visit the Haunted Mansion. And proceed to annoy everyone, it's great. And of course, the actual show has made several Haunted Mansion references, so I figured it was only a matter of time before they did a theme park episode.
Oh, and the levitating candelabra is so cliche! Cliche? It's called an homage.
This creepy lighthouse in Florida, the site of the Chicago fire, and a haunted mansion in New Orleans.
The show is set in a little town in the Midwest called Brighton, and the Midwest is actually home to a lot of different theme parks and amusement parks. I was thinking they'd do an episode where the characters go to a theme park, have fun, Molly could get Libby on a massive coaster she doesn't want to go on because she's afraid of heights, and maybe they'd encounter some kind of paranormal activity. I mean, this is a show about ghosts after all. But the show's writers went in a different direction. After an opening song with art heavily inspired by the work of the one and only Mary Blair, who of course is most famous for her work on Alice in Wonderland, Peter Pan, and of course, It's a Small World.
And this song is going to be stuck in my head for the rest of the day.
The McGee's are about to leave for the airport to go on an incredible week-long vacation when they get some devastating news. Sunnyland is closed indefinitely due to a once-in-a-century rainstorm that's flooded the park entirely. The whole family is sad, of course, but Molly being Molly, she can't sit around and watch the family be insatified.
I hate that word.
She jumps into action, recreating the park experience as best as she can at home.
Since we can't go to the park, I brought the park to us!
You went all out!
You are now officially on vacation. Leave everything to me. Also, please hold on to your tickets. They're non-refundable.
This was, of course, quite the trend in 2020, as many people had their vacations canceled due to the pandemic. The episode was written sometime in late 2020 to early 2021, which of course was while Disneyland remained closed for an unprecedented amount of time. So while there's a ghost involved, meaning that some of the things Molly's able to do with this are somewhat infeasible, this episode is actually one of the most realistic depictions of what a theme park is actually like. And I'm not saying that because everything looks like something a creative kid like Molly with enough art supplies to put Hobby Lobby out of business would be able to pull off. I mean, Molly's thought of literally everything. She's made merchandise!
We've got shirts, we've got hats, and we've got sunny shades.
Wow, overpriced. Just like at the park.
She's got character!
It's me, Sunny! Rise and shine, everyone!
She said the catchphrase! Best vacation ever!
And...
Sunnyland Sundae Bar? With unlimited toppings, Molly. This is beautiful.
And this, of course, is when Molly uses ice cream to bribe Scratch to help her run the rides.
Okay, I know she just made up the rule about the Sunday bar to get Scratch to help her, but actually one random perk that cast members get is free snack coupons!
You know, the thing about bribery is, it works.
Keeper was not kidding about these Mickey bars. They're delicious.
Give me a name tag. Can I be Duke from West Covina?
Yes you can! Congratulations on becoming an official Sunny Buddy, Duke!
And, of course, she's recreated some of the rides to the best of her ability.
Enjoy the Rainbow Rapids! Your picture will be available for purchase at the end. Well, color me excited! Oh man, I blinked.
Molly takes a lot of pride and joy in making everyone happy. And while Scratch helps her out, she's pretty much entirely the one making the rest of her family's park experience amazing. And it's hard work.
Well, you know me. When it comes to inhabifying, I am unstoppable. Can't wait to see what you have planned for tomorrow! Okay, right. This was going to be a week-long vacation.
Molly calls Libby for reinforcements, but just ends up with another guest at her park.
And is that the cloud coaster? Ooh, I've always wanted sunny shades. Well, here's your chance. Wait, but Oh, no, you're right. You deserve an hapification too.
And they all basically treat her like she's some random employee that they don't even know. Turns out that Molly's done such a good job at recreating the vacation experience that her family is in full vacation brain mode. Everything finally comes to a breaking point when Molly tries to use a disco ball and a Roomba to create a solar flare light show. Even as she's getting swept away by a torrent of water and subsequently passes out, presumably from exhaustion, all she can think about is how she's ruined everything. The family takes her up to her room and apologizes.
We have something to say. We're sorry.
We were having so much fun, we didn't stop to think how hard it was to keep Sunnyland so sunny.
This is a family vacation, and you should enjoy it too.
They let Molly get some much needed rest and set everything up again, making a big point to thank Molly for everything that she's done, and actually make sure that she's having fun this time too. From a character perspective, I love this, because Molly does so much for everyone, including her family, and pretty much never asks for anything in return, because for her, doing good and making people happy is its own reward. Her family ends up taking that entirely for granted in this episode, leading to her completely forgetting to take care of herself first and resulting in severe burnout.
What's going on, Molly? Did you get any sleep?
Who needs sleep when you can thrive on the joy of your loved ones?
It's really hard to try and make others happy when you're completely exhausted and miserable. So it's a great character moment for Molly when her family realizes that they've been taking her for granted and make a point to thank her and make sure that she's actually having fun on this vacation that was supposed to be for all of them. But I don't think that's all that this episode was going for. I think a lot of people think of working at the Disney parks like they do visiting them. They think that it's always magical and carefree. I absolutely love my job, but it's hard work, just like any guest service job. Merchandise, attractions, custodial, food service. Not everyone can do it. All of the marketing that they do for the Disney parks wants people to believe that these places are literally infused with actual magic. I mean, they call Walt Disney World the most magical place on Earth. But the fact of the matter is, these places without the cast members, that's all that they are. They're just places. Walt Disney once said, "You can design and create and build the most wonderful place in the world, but it takes people to make the dream a reality." And that's true of literally any park, be it Disney, Universal, SeaWorld, Cedar Fair, Six Flags, Hershey, and even your local family-owned amusement park. Yes, they're all different, but what all the best ones have in common is that they have hardworking and passionate people who love creating joy for their guests. I mean, that's what these places are meant for, really. They're meant to inhappify people.
Inhappify?
That's a word.
So if you're going to the Disney parks, or any park in general in the near future, have an amazing time, and please be kind to the people working there. And don't forget to send them a little bit of magic back. Guest compliments and just general kindness really do make their day. Like I said at the beginning, it's not a surprise that theme parks tend to show up a lot in animation. But with the Ghost and Molly McGee, you can tell that the people who make this show have nothing but a deep love and respect for the parks and the cast members who make them possible. Even though the McGee's never actually go to a theme park in the episode, this show gave us what I think is the best and most realistic representation of what theme parks are actually like in any piece of media. A ton of love and care went into creating this episode that's both a love letter to the parks and a huge thank you to the people who work there. And that's what I love so much about this show. Even with its fantastical premise, it's so genuine and grounded.
It's always sunny in...
Please don't. I can still hear it in my sleep.
Yeah, I feel you, Molly.
Let's just enjoy the rides.
Until next time, I'm Chandler DeRoche.
I'm a tour guide on the Jungle Cruise.